Hello, Chulai.
Hello, Ian. How are you?
I'm good again, thank you, this week. Yes, all good.
Marvelous. All good.
Yeah.
Yes, I can see your face is looking bright today.
Thank you. Yes, I've decided it's time to start doing a bit of treatment. This is it's not Botox. It's at the advice of my son Daniel,
Ooh.
who some of you will have heard on some of the podcasts, appearing as
Yeah.
a guest. Um, he's really into sort of looking after himself and fitness, and both mental, physical, and spiritual fitness. I guess you could throw in there as well,
Yeah.
even, and well-being as a total. And
Mm,
he said, we should be if we want to have good skin, treat it with almond oil. So I've just
marvelous.
been and bought myself some like moisturizer and stuff, and then he comes out with this idea. So I've got a big bottle of moisturizer that I'm not using at the moment because I'm using the almond oil, and it's great. I guess it's more natural, and
Yeah.
it's uh, it's working wonders with me,
I
really.
can definitely see the difference.
Well, that's amazing. You can see it over the camera here
I
like
can,
this.
yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I'm pleased about that.
Excellent. Tell Daniel he's done well. Last week we talked about his steps to how to look after his brain and his
That's
focus and
right. Yeah.
stuff, and he's obviously benefiting from that and
Yeah. And
passing it
it's
on.
rubbing off on us as well. Yeah, that's it. Mum and
Really,
dad are getting the idea too. So
that is amazing.
yeah. Yeah, that's good. It's
That
really
is
good.
amazing. And spiritual well-being and spiritual fitness. I love that word that you
Yeah,
used.
no, yeah.
It's
Yes.
really, it's true though, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
physical, mental, and spiritual well-being, and that's we are as a whole. And people often
correct. Yeah.
tend to just do exercise and whatever, but continue to put rubbish in their bodies and rubbish in
Yes.
their minds more often than
Yes.
not,
Yeah.
as we spoke before. And this is really good wording, and actually is very much in
Uh-huh.
line with the episode we wanted to do today.
Okay. Okay.
This
Yeah,
is
I've just been thinking about it because, you know, people talk about, where's your heart at? What's your heart? But you're not talking about the thing that pumps blood around your body. You're talking about your soul, I guess, the bit that makes you you, the bit inside. And that's not really physical or mental.
that's
That for
true.
me, that's the spiritual side. And, it's not
Mm,
something we talk about a lot, but it is all part of the complete being, isn't it? And,
it is.
I
Oh
don't say
yeah.
to my wife when I come in, I love you with all my pump, the thing that pumps blood. I love you with all my heart, with all
That's
that I am,
hilarious.
with that which I'm. It's great, isn't it? Yeah. There you go.
I know exactly what you mean, though, Ian. It's us being as a whole, and that's what we don't often talk on that side of the equation too much, but
Sure. Yeah, that's right.
we
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
do come from that in a way because we are whole as whole beings and stuff. But anyway, but
So this
actually,
is this is helpful for what we want to talk about today. Then I
it
believe we're doing a
is.
listener's question, aren't we today?
We are, in fact, and I've come
Great.
across
Love
this
it.
question a week ago, in fact, or maybe a couple of weeks ago now by the time this episode goes out to
Yeah. Yeah.
air.
Yeah.
The question
Yeah.
was, how do we become more intentional in moving from doing to being? So, what do you think that, Ian? I'll ask you first.
Oh,
How
thank you.
would you
Yes. Here
answer
we
this
go.
question?
I haven't had it for a few weeks, so
I know,
yeah. That's
right?
on the. Oh, here we are on the spot. Right. I'm ready. Come on.
So,
Have a
what
cup
would
of
be
tea.
your
Then
answer?
let me have the question.
That was the question. Not paying attention.
Okay, I'm listening now.
How do we become more intentional about letting go of the doing and being, if you like, yeah, on moving from doing to being, yeah.
Okay, so I think maybe the biggest problem that we've got, or people have got, or some people have got, is the fear of not being seen to be doing. I've had people say, "Oh, I can't let people know that I wasn't up out of bed by 8 o'clock in the morning. I have to. They want to project this image that I'm up in the morning doing stuff because I'm so busy and whatever.
Mm.
And there's that thoughts in your mind that I don't know, you could even call it brainwashing from the past or whatever, that says you cannot just sit and be, you cannot just lie down and be, you cannot just walk around the street and be, you have to be doing, you must be productive. And it's that fear of
Oh,
showing the world that oh, I'm not being as productive as I could. I can't just be. I can't just sit and close my eyes and think and meditate or whatever. That's not productive.
Productive, interesting. Well, that's again, that's a misconception of being productive doesn't mean you have to be busy all the time, but that's a thing for another episode, perhaps.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Um, and you kind of, yeah, you're on the right lines. I could say,
I'm usually somewhere on the right lines,
you
but
are.
Shulai, you are here to get us right on the line here.
Well, starting, how do we become more intentional? Well, there is no how, just become more intentional about it. That's the easiest answer to the question. Of course, that's a lot deeper than that,
Yeah,
Yes.
but make the decision that it's okay
Mm.
and actually I'm going to give it a go. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Well, that is the first step. Make a decision that you are gonna move from doing to more being. But what does that really mean? What does
Mm,
that really mean in terms of your day to day? What does that look like? And dare I say, most people know what to do, but
all
it's not a
right.
matter of knowing what to do, but
Oh,
it's just
yes. Yeah.
understanding the reasons why we still don't do, despite the fact that we know what to do. I give you a
Mhm.
very good example. Almost everyone knows what food to eat to stay in a healthy weight,
Yes.
bracket,
Yep.
if you like.
Yes. Yep. Yep. Okay.
But yet 60% of the population is obese, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not a matter of not knowing, it's a matter of why we are not doing what we are supposed to do, why we are still continue to be slave to these big timelines, the extreme working hard. And hard work is definitely rewarded. Hard work, as we spoke about it before,
Yeah.
you may be seem to be working hard, but if you are working hard on the wrong thing, you are neither productive nor
Mm.
your presence. So you are actually fulfilling nothing on that sense. And
Well, yeah.
this extreme busyness can also come from avoidance, as I said before in many, many, many episodes.
Yes.
So yes, you can be more intentional, and I can give you all the tips that you will read on Google, you'll read in anywhere. That yes, you can turn your phone off, put it
Mm.
away, put it on
Yeah.
some sort
The,
of
the
focus
practical
mode,
things.
the
Yeah.
practical things. So don't look at it for half an hour, set an alarm and focus within that half an hour and be present at that time. And you know that you need to do this, or be disciplined and not checking your emails on a Sunday evening, as most people do.
Mm.
Or I don't know, just get rid of the distractions. We used to sit in an open plan office, didn't we? And we used to have headphones, and people might seem that you're a bit unfriendly, whatever, when you put the headphones, but there's
Mm.
so much talk going on. In order for you to focus, I used to put my headphones and put a
Yes.
specific focus music in order
Uh,
to focus, because it was hard for me otherwise not to get involved in everybody's conversations, because I would believe it or not, I would rather be having the conversation than having to focus on that. But
yes,
sometimes you
that's the thing.
have to
Yeah, that's the
focus,
thing.
right?
And don't you notice that when you've got something to do, that television program in the background becomes so much more interesting?
Yeah.
Oh, if only I could just get away from this work and the task I want to do and relax and enjoy this. This program is brilliant, but yet if I sit down and I haven't got anything to do, I enjoy watching the TV, but it just doesn't have that draw that it does if you've got so yeah.
Yeah.
To get me away from something I don't really want to do. I'd rather be doing something else. And
Yeah.
I guess, we do gravitate, there's a good word, we gravitate towards the things that we want to do, or the things that we're good at doing, the things that we enjoy doing. And
Well, the gravitate towards things that are going to make us feel comfortable,
uh-huh,
make us
uh-huh.
feel safe.
Yeah.
And whether or not that is something that we need to be doing at that moment in time, it is comfortable. And people are wondering, it's like, what is comfortable about
Mm,
checking your emails on a Sunday evening? What
yes.
is comfortable is that because it validates your identity of being a busy, hardworking, high achieving professional, a
Right. So
professional
this
who is
is,
on
yeah.
the ball.
So obviously I'm going to do this because that's part of who I am. And
Yeah.
why wouldn't I check my emails on a Sunday? Because that's how I'm validated. That's how
Yeah.
I'm see myself.
So, okay, so we can give lots of practical things and people can find us on Google, they can
Yeah.
find it on wherever, and they know what to do deep down. Yet why we are still not doing
Okay, so we're
the
going to
things
take it
that is
another
going to
level.
help us being. We are going to take it to another level, right?
Good.
And
Excellent.
that level
Yep.
is something that you're not going to learn on Google, unfortunately. Well, you could if you really dig deep, but it's not going to explain as deep as we are going to explain here. So what is it that there's two reasons and two
Yep.
reasons only why we still choose not to be, but we choose to be busy. Number one is because what will others think of me if I'm not doing what I'm doing,
Yeah.
just like you
Yeah.
said.
Yeah. 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 Get that
People
one totally.
people perceive working hard, not working hard enough or whatever, as being lazy. And
Yes.
this is an external perception, but also it became our identity at some point in time. It's become how we see ourselves. If I'm not busy anymore, if I'm not working hard, so what am I supposed to be doing? Who am I?
Yeah.
And what will others think of me? And what will others think of me is becomes important because there is two deeper spheres that drives all of that as well. So that I'm not good enough, that we will talk about in a few weeks, and I'm not. Um, People will abandon me. People will not love me anymore. Is the
Yeah.
validation of identity from outside.
Right. Yeah.
And then the second
Oh,
reason that why
yeah.
we would
Okay.
keep becoming a slave to the timetable and the doing and the checking emails and constantly being busy is because, again, it validates our identity. It validates who we are because that's who we have been until now. This is how we've become the kind of the success figure that we are in the society. This is what they see us as, and this is
Mm.
how we see ourselves as a result. And if we don't do that anymore, who are we?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, makes
Yeah,
sense.
I'm just yeah, I'm just taking all that in really, and it's lots of thoughts going through my head. I mean, it's like during the lockdown period where people were forced to stay at home,
That's
they
right.
couldn't do. They were suddenly thrown into this thing where they had almost no option but to be, or at least do nothing. Maybe that's the problem. They couldn't do anything, but they couldn't
Be
be
either. Yeah.
either. Yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah, that's I remember being out with the radio work at some outdoor event and talking about this lady was talking to me about this children's group that she runs in the town,
Okay.
and she said it's just a place where parents and children can just come and be. I said they don't just so not necessarily doing anything or an activity. They just and she said yes, they just be, as if to
Mm,
say, get it in your head, man. They can
yeah.
just come and be. And I
Be.
thought, how wonderful!
Yeah.
That's great that people have got a place where they can just go and not be expected to be doing.
Mm.
You know, yeah. So yeah, a couple of thoughts there, but yeah,
Yeah, that's interesting. And people understand the concept, but the knowing and applying, and of course,
mm,
we all have work to do around us. And it's not an easy thing to do because it's something that we adopted. The society
mm,
pushes you and is frowned upon not to be doing anything. It's frowned
mm,
upon not to be busy. And there was the first thing people you say to people, oh, how are you? Oh, I'm busy, especially at work. I'm really busy. It's like, yeah,
yeah,
you're really busy.
yeah.
Great. Doing what exactly?
Doing, yeah, absolutely. Doing what and achieving what, and what is really at the end of the day the benefit. I mean, it's I've been in such a bad situation with that in the past. At my worst time of thinking, well, there just isn't enough time in the day to do what I just need to do, and you think something's really wrong here.
Yeah.
Something really has gone wrong.
Mm.
It should never be like this. But I bet a lot of people are in that situation.
They are. And also this is comes from the fact that the reason, okay, so these are the two reasons that drive when we
Yeah,
are not consciously aware that this is why we are doing it. This doing this is what drives, this is the cause of all the busyness.
yeah,
We of course are not going to go and take the action that's necessary to stop it, right? And the other thing is that we do it the opposite way. We know something is up. We know we need to do something different, yet we don't do it. Again, driven by the fear that what if we fail? Because as a high achiever, or a hardworking woman, you're always used to achieving. You're always used to being at the top of everything. But now, if you're not, you're you, even if you are at the top, sometimes you feel there's this unfulfillment. There's this gap inside of you, as we talked about it
Yeah.
before. And this unfulfillment comes from the fact that you know something is wrong, yet you still continue to be busy. And that's the reason why we are keeping ourselves busy. Knowing that is because we want to avoid the thing that really needs to be done, making that change. And
Right.
avoidance is the number one reason why we continue to keep busy, because it validates our identity, and because it keeps us comfortable in the sitting on the nail, remember?
Yes, yeah, dog sitting on the nail, love it. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's essentially the three reasons. We either try and
Okay.
avoid something, or
Yeah.
we are essentially avoiding being, because we don't want to unvalidate ourselves. We don't want to lose our identity.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Now, you and I spend, these 20, 25 minutes every week being very busy. I'm going to suggest we put into practice what we're talking about today. Take a quick break, because I think there's something else you wanted to sort of bring, Chula, before we go back to our main topic.
Yes, there is a couple of things I wanted to share. In fact, as some of our listeners may or may not know, that I've been doing these weekly mindset nuggets since the middle of September, and they are really popular, and they are amazing little nuggets, if you like. I call them weekly
Yeah,
mindset
that's a
nuggets
great
that
name. Love it. Perfect. Yeah.
gives little mindsets. I'm not even going to say information, but just like this awareness, transformation starts with awareness. And I wanted to invite people to come along to those. It's a lunchtime hour. It's only for half an hour. It starts at 12 every Tuesday, and you can come along with your lunch, your sandwich, whatever. You don't even have to
Yeah.
have your camera on. You can come and join and ask the questions when we are live to have answered. And we are covering great topics. And this week I covered, in fact, very much in line with what we were talking about today, using overcoming fear with the power of your intention.
Wow.
That's intention was a word that I had heard a lot when I was in corporate, but I didn't really understand or know the meaning of it. And now I
Yeah.
know, and I've used
Yes.
it in my life a lot. I wanted to really cover this. So,
Mm.
as is very much on hot topic of our what we're talking about today, I want to invite people to come and register for those classes so that they can get the recording when they do register, even if they can't come live. So I'm just going to read out the sign up link, and we will put this on the show notes so people can join. Also,
Great.
they can see on my LinkedIn profile as well. So it's www.tulaimassicoaching.com/, and after this, every word has got a dash in between. So / weekly mindset nuggets with Dr. Tulay Massi, which is obvious, a mini masterclass series. So every word has got a little dash in between, and all lowercase, so they can join with this link. And when I put it in the show notes, they can come and join with that. And as this episode is going to be aired on the 30th of November, this is going to be the last day of my Black Friday sale. For the first time in years,
Well, okay.
I'm doing a Black Friday sale, and in this
Gotta
Black
be
Friday,
done.
gotta be
Yeah.
done. And what I'm going to be doing is, I have been doing is basically offering people buy one get one free in my online courses. One is a mini course about mastering your mindset, and stop living in chaos now in just 5 days. And that was a 5-day experience that I put out. It's normally £47, but it is going to come free with the online version of my one-to-one coaching, and that is a self-study course for 8 weeks. It's the exact same content I deliver to my one-to-one clients. I give all the resources, all the audios, and you can get that now for £97. So both of them for £97 only, normally 144. So you have to go to the specific offer, and I will put the offer page again in the show notes so that you can get there right now. Yeah. So
Brilliant.
it finishes today, and by the time you get this aired, hopefully you will still be able to get it. And if not, you can contact me to find out how to access those courses. Even at 144, that's a great value based on the transformations you're going to get out of it. So yeah.
Great. Brilliant. Okay, that's lovely. Thanks very much, Chula. And I guess, you know, this series that we've been doing for 3.5 years, you know, finding serenity in the midst of chaos, is really mainly, if we're to sum it up, it's more raising awareness of things for people, helping people to be aware of themselves rather than giving information, because there are lots of places you can go. And we've talked about learning how to ride a bike by reading a book or searching on Google. And, you know, it's more about doing and raising awareness, isn't it? Overall, I think it's fair to say what we're doing.
Yes, it's funny as the topic, it's more about application in our being, not just the doing.
Right.
Doing, you can read all the books in the world.
Yes.
But as we said, only 10% of what you read you will remember.
Yeah.
And if you repeat it a couple of times, it might stick somewhere and you'll have bits of information. But to put it in the context of your own life and live it and be it every single day is a whole different matter entirely. And that's where this is why we repeat the information. This is why I urge people to, you know what to do. Time management. I don't have time in a day. Well, you know how to manage your time. Urgent, important, more important, whatever the quadrants, you know where to go. Yet you still choose to be busy every single day, you know, working till 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, whatever, or checking emails on a Sunday. There's another reason, as we spoke about in this whole episode. Find out what fear are you driven by? Brilliant. And what is it that you're afraid of that you're going to lose? You know, why do you feel that? And what is it perhaps you're trying to avoid entirely? Because again, losing your identity by being a different person, by changing your life in a way, as I have done, is something that's extremely scary. You know, I'm still working through some elements of it myself, but you know, until you take that step, nothing is going to change. So how do we be more intentional about letting go of the doing and become, you know, more focused on being? Is make the decision, be intentional, and realize how powerful your intentions are, because it's your intentions who brought you to where you are today, whether you are actually consciously aware of that or not.
Yes. Yeah.
And when you are consciously aware, you can make so many great things happen. We were intentional about creating a podcast, even before we knew that we could create this, right? Remember?
Yes. Yeah, I do.
And now, 3.5 years later, we are here. So intend it, make a decision, and follow it through. And if you're not following through, contact me. Let's understand together, what is it that you're afraid of? That's it. I think today.
Great. I'm just taking the time to just take that in, just let the listeners and myself take all that in, because that's really quite powerful. And you know what I was hearing there or thinking while you were talking is that vehicle, that thought, that intention that took me to where things were not good and I was not fulfilling and being over busy and overwhelmed, that same intention can take me to a good place, or has done. You know, you've done it. You were just talking about, you know, how you've become a different person and but you've become more of the person that you genuinely are, I think is what you're saying. You haven't changed. You've just found your true self, really.
Yeah.
More so. And you know, that's probably what people, but I was definitely not my true self when I was in that overwhelmed, chaotic, I can't get anywhere state. That was just going through the motions. It was just running around the rat wheel and getting nowhere. And
going through the motions. That's a great term
and the
to
other
use.
thing I just want to say to the listeners and viewers is that because I've seen a photograph of you when you were in the middle of not being the person that you are, and compared to how you look now, you know, you look great. Back then you could really tell you were not good. You could just see it in somebody's face. And the transformation there. So you know, we and for myself as well, I've look back at pictures, then me and my son used to say to me, "Why is your skin so grey?" I said I
Like
didn't
what?
realise it, didn't know it was. But if you're not sleeping properly, you're not eating properly, you're not
Mm,
behaving properly, you're not, you're not living life properly, you're going to be ill. And I was ill. It made
mm,
me ill in my
yeah.
case, and I don't want that again. And I don't have to go through that again. Nobody
Mm,
has to go through that again.
yeah. And
So
I'm glad you brought that up, actually, going
yep.
through the motions just because we have to, going through the
Mm,
motions just because everyone else is doing, knowing while something is wrong is only going to end up taking you
mm.
to a physical ailment and illness.
Yeah.
And I'm not just
Yeah.
saying this, we were talking about the
No,
whole,
I experienced it. It happened. It
yeah,
really did happen to me. I was ill.
mental, physical, and spiritual
Spiritual.
well-being.
Yeah.
And this happens, and I too have become ill, and I know so many people are going through that. This is what burnout is about, and
Mm,
sometimes it's beyond burnout. It's a lifetime conditions you can start to
mm.
build up
Yeah.
as a
Poof.
result of going through the motions and suppressing your feelings. So
Yeah.
being means allowing yourself to be the person you want to be,
Great.
not
Yeah.
just putting your phone down every single day, not just checking your emails, but it's about who do you want to be right now?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
who do you want to be in the future and be that person now? And I think in a couple of weeks, we are talking about how do we be the person we want to be? But yeah,
Great. Look forward to it. Yeah.
yeah,
Brilliant. All right. The clock is being its normal self and telling me that our time is up for today. So
yes.
we'll leave it there, Chula. I look forward to our next discussion next time. Thanks
Thank
very
you.
much
And
and bye for now.
bye.